box contains some hardware, some developed board. But in our class, in computer organization, in fact, in 2 years ago, we had studied in Huazhong University of Science and Technology. In Huazhong Science of Technology, Huazhong University of Science and Technology, they tell us we can use simulator. We can use simulator logic to simulate the computer organization. So in computer organization class, in 2018 and 2019, we had continued the simulation in 2 years. In this year, this is the third time for computer science in Chinese. So you can find this is Chinese book. But this is Chinese version. So so you read this book. Use your Chinese. Okay, you can find this is the file. This is the folder in the laboratory computer. You can find it in front of your desk. You can find the computer. In the computer, in the C disk, the folder. The name is 组成原理实验文件 but this is Chinese version, so I'm sorry. I haven't prepared English version. So do your best. Yeah. 尽力 do your best. Yeah. Okay. You can find in this folder. This is the 预装文件 预装软件 Yeah. 预装软件 In this 预装软件 you can find a file named Logicsim 2.7.1. You must, if you want run in your computer, you must use these files. The version is very important. The teacher from Huazhong University of Science and Technology, they tell us if we don't use this version file, you will face unknown problems. Yeah, this version is studied and checked by their study and by their students. You can find students from Huazhong University of Science and Technology is very, very good. And these students, the ability of these students is very high. So in Changsha University of Science and Technology, we find our students can't do some better, but they can. Yeah. So the Huazhong University in Wuhan, Huazhong University of Science and Technology in Wuhan is a very good university. In Chinese, they call 华中科技大学. We call 长沙理工大学, but the name is the same. The name is Huazhong University of Science and Technology. Yeah. So in English, the name is very similar. So we learn by from their university. We can find the Logicsim. Yeah, you can find this file, Logicsim Win 2.7.1.exe. This is the run file. But if you will run in your computer, you will you will set up JRE because the software need Java runtime. So the GRE is needed. So you can find this.
Java runtime and
you can find this file. You can find this is for x64. You can find this is a file for R586. This is 64 version. This is 32 version. Yeah. So this is the 2 version. Okay. You can find run this file. This is the software. So the software is very simple. It's very easily to use. You can find this in the former class. I tell you this is English version.
Yeah.
So you can find this is the version 2.7.1. This is the version from 2011. So don't worry, this version is very early, but the software is very stable. But the problem of this file, we will tell you. The problem of this file is let me think. In Chinese we call 假死. In English is unknown error. If the software happen to unknown problem, the method is reset. So we use this file. You remember, save and save.
Okay.
If you do some works, you don't remember save, the works is like a class. So if you use this file, you must continue to save and save. Don't worry and must remember. This is very important. Okay, this is the software. Okay, you can find this is the files. This file is very important. His name is CS3410. This file is for some conditions. So if we have used or we need to use this file in the book, they have some descriptions. So CS3410, the file, you can see. If you need to use, you can choose. Yeah. So this is for some conditions, not for all conditions. Okay. This is run files. Okay. We can find some files we give you. In our class, in our computer, we can give you one guide. This guide is very detailed, and in these details you can find the guide to being a Logisim user. You can find this is 123 pages. You can find the guide to being a Logisim user. You can find Logisim is an applicational tool for designing and simulating digital logic circuits. So in our class, I tell you the circuits can simulate in software. So this is the software. With its simple toolbar, you can find this is an example. This is some circuits. included mix, included some clock, reset, some files. Okay, you can find this is the design window. Design window. Okay, students at college and university around the clock use Logisim for a variety of purposes, including 3 sections and 2 the guide to being a Logisim user. We can find this is some sections. So you can find in this beginner tutorial. This is a user book. So you can find they can tell you use one circuit. This is XOR. In Chinese we call 易货 XOR. OR is similar as XOR, but they are 2 different circuits. So you can find Logisim allow us. This is XOR. This is XOR. This is AND. This is NOT. So this is the XOR circuit. So you can find he give us step 1, step 2, step 3 steps. So you can find they oriented us step 0, orienting yourself when you start Logisim. So you can find the guide. You can find some image. This guide is very simple and studied by yourself. So we don't read this file all content. So in the following you can do it yourself. I will tell you some other files, the role of files. Okay, we can find this is in Chinese version. This is in Chinese version. This is the user book. MARS. You can find MARS. The file in this.
Yeah, mouse.
Yeah, mouse. There is mouse. You can find there is mouse. If I double click this file, you can find .jar is for Java virtual machine. Yes. This is mouse, but we use mouse very 很少. We use this file if necessary. In most time we use this file. So mouse is the file. Is the software for Logisim. So the 2 software we use Logisim mostly. Yeah. Okay, we can find this is in Chinese version. This is from Douding, www.douyin.com. This is in Chinese version. So you can find he give us 熟悉环境 some 练习 and some 基础 and some give some examples. Okay, we can find we prepare some files. Okay, we look up Logisim 入门 .circ. CIRC is the extended file name for Logisim. So if you find some file named CIRC, this is file is for Logisim. Yeah, okay. CIRC is the name from circuit. if you run or open this file, you can find in the left section, you can find some components. Yeah, you can find, I'm sorry, this is Chinese version. Okay, you can find this is button.
Button.
Yeah, the button you can find, this is the properties for the button. You can find this is the button, but this button is unuseful. But because the button is not connected for any components. Okay, this is from zero starting. 从零开始 from zero starting. So you can find this is change. This is some sockets. Okay, you can find this is different colors, different lines, different wires. Yeah, so you can find if you prepare some sockets, you can find you can link. Yeah. So this is a wire, and this is in Chinese we call 探针. Yeah, some other adder, shifter. So you can find this is some sockets, some different sockets. Okay, this is the wiring. This is clock. This is power. This is ground. Power and ground is very similar, but these are different. Power and ground. Okay, this is the transistor. Transistor is the name from the book. You can find this is the transistor, the transistor logo. Yeah. The gate, you can find the AND gate. You can find the OR gate and the NOT gate and the XOR gate and then this is the sum gate. Yeah, the sum gate is prepared for some positions. We can find some components, and this is some memories. This is T flip-flop. Flip-flop is some sockets in our ebook. Yeah, in the former class, in the former content, we can look. This is the register.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the counter.
Okay.
Yeah, counter is the counter. This is shift register. Then this is the RAM. This is the ROM. So this is every simple component. So you can find in the guide. You can look. This is the description in some sections. This is explorer pane. This is attribute table. You can call properties table. This is the canvas. So I like to call this section designing area. They call canvas. It's same. In above of the software, you can find this is toolbar. Yeah. So you can find in the toolbar you can find some toolbars, but the toolbar is very similar, and you can find the project toolbar is important because this can manage some simulator. You can find the simulate is very useful because this is some frequency design. You can find the frequency, the bigger frequency is 4.1
kilohertz.
kilohertz. This is the big. This is the small. So you can find the frequency. The scale of frequency is from 0.25 to 4.1. So this is the simple concept. Okay, you can find this. We can quickly dispose of the explorer page and the attribute table. We can find some. Yeah.
Do you have tissue paper?
What?
Can you speak? Tissue paper? CG?
What kind of?
Attention.
Yeah.
聚集。 আপনি জানতেন না আগে? মাথায় থেকে
I remember some translator engine, some translator app is very useful. In former year, in 2 years ago, my wife and my child go to Malaysia. He don't see the local language, so he used the translator app. He read Chinese in the cell phone. The cell phone can translate the language to Malaysian language or local language. So it's slow, but he is useful. So
when we came in the China first time, that time we need to use like that by translator.
Some teacher use translator.
No. The Yin and the Shiho, woman like that. 那边我们要用翻译的 APP.
It's useful and it's very. It has very high precision. It can translate our language to local language, and the translator app. The use of translate app is very big. Okay. This is the step 1. Step 1 is adding gates. We can add some gates. You can find this is the gate. So you can find this is from gates. So you can find the logic in our experimental class. You can find the logic. The use of logic is to simulate circuits. So we want you to study the software do yourself, and don't worry. We don't use the standards for Chinese for you. We will lower and lower because the software you use this software first. In the former time you don't use this software. In Chinese class we find our Chinese students do this software informal. In his first and second, he can use this software. So we studied the software easily. So don't worry. Okay. You can do some simple experts. We can give you some scores. So don't worry. This is the teacher from Huazhong University of Science and Technology. His name is Tan Zhihu. Tan Zhihu. Tan of Teacher Tan. Teacher Tan is the famous teacher for computer organization from Huazhong University of Science and Technology. You can find in Chinese, the name is from logic circuits to CPU. Yeah, he can use circuits to design CPU. So this is a difficult problem. So you can find it in the index. In the index, you can find in chapter 5 and chapter 6. In chapter 5 and chapter 6, he can design mix processor. Mix is one famous company, but the company in current the company is merged by some companies. So the mix isn't existed. The mix is in history. But the mix instruction sets in our class we discuss instruction set. Mix instruction set is very famous in some CPU. So you can find in your book chapter 5 and chapter 6 is very difficult. So we can give you some files. You can find in our files. We give us some sockets. You can find we can open. This is we can use the file for file. We can find this is some. You can find this is some example. Yeah, you can find in our screen. Let's have a rest. I want to give some papers, some files in the office.
Okay.
So,
Would you like to say something the next one?
Chapter 5 and chapter 6 is difficult. So we don't examine you for this content. So you can study, you can look this component. Okay, you can find in the screen. In the screen, we can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 7. This is the 5. This is the 7 circuit demos from the teachers from Teacher Tan. So you can find this is an PPT from Huazhong University of Science and Technology, but this PPT is Chinese version. Please wait. Today I will give you all the files for experimental class in your extra time, in your weekend. You can do it by yourself. So the experimental, today is the first experimental class. So in the next week, if you want, you can do it in your bedroom. You can do it in the laboratory. Okay, you can find this PPT. This PPT is from Future Time. In Chinese, you can see from logic circuit to CPU or to computer. So in Chinese, 虚实一体, 虚实一体. Yeah. 虚实一体. Yeah. It's like simulation. In Chinese, you can find some difficult terms. In English, it's simple.
Yeah.
Okay, this is page. So I'm sorry, this is the Chinese version. So it hasn't English version. So you can find this PPT from Chinese. So in Chinese, some summary, some content you can look at in our Logisim 虚拟仿真. You can find Logisim 虚拟仿真. You can find 在 Logisim 平台设计仿真. This is our rule. This is our rule. Our rule is this. You can find this is
Tools.
This is tools. This is box. This is develop board.
Yeah.
This NC4 develop board is in the 柜子 in the 在柜子里我们也有 NC4. Now this is the Logisim.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk, the Logisim is better and better.
There is software and hardware combination.
Yeah. From the hardware, we find the experimental class is very difficult. You can find in original processor. You can find microprocessor is very difficult. But in this is the hardware. In hardware, we can't contain. So it is some hardware. Yeah, this is some sockets. So you can find this is hardware sockets. So this is some ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. He is designed by manual. This is register 5 and this is memory. This is very difficult. We hadn't this chip, this RAM, this controller. This is very difficult to design. So we can find this is the 紊乱 the wells is the 2 main wells. So logic is from Java, in Win, in Mac, in Linux. So you can find today we can use for Linux, for Win. It is for Win.
Yeah.
And I have for Mac version. If you have Mac, you can find the Mac version is for Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing. But he tell us the software isn't updated, but the software is useful, so we can use the software. So he tell us
有
bug
但
完全可用。This software has some
bug, but it can use.
But he can use. So if some sockets move, reset is better. So 重启即可。So you can find the reset is very useful method. If your router in your home, in your bedroom is run down, okay, reset is very useful method. In our home, in my home, the reset the router is unuseful. I can reset. Reset is very useful. After reset, the signal is returned. Yeah. So you can find the logic can use in 数字电路开发 the development of circuit and CPU 设计 the design for all CPU. His name, he is from CS616. This is the symbol from Berkeley and from Stanford. So we tell us computer organization. The content is from CS616. So the symbol is very famous in America. So you can find logic. He can use the design method. So we can find this as two characteristics. Can 培养学生硬件思维，回避硬件描述语言抽象，硬件设计程序化。This problem. So the PPT you can study in extra time. I will give you. You can find in Chinese. Chinese teacher want easily like to give you some 教师轻松，学生用功，机房空空，停教登峰。He is from Chinese teacher. Okay. It's like some 诗词，比如说诗词， 听过 Chinese is very difficult. So I think your class is contained Chinese.
Chinese language.
Yeah, Chinese language.
Yeah.
But Chinese language, you can find this is easy. Difficult Chinese is difficult to learn.
现在我们老师教我们汉语水平3。
汉语水平3。
对。
Yeah. Chinese is very difficult for foreigners.
Yeah. 很多事物和很多事情。
Don't worry and don't shy. Do your
现在我的第一问题是声调，我的声调不好。
Spoken is very useful. My daughter has 13 years old. His English, his shortcomings of English is spoken. So I give her one special class for spoken English. The name is 典范 English. In his class, in her class, teacher is from in the back. Teacher talks small. Talks 老师说的少，学生说的多。So my daughter pity. My daughter, the spoken English is very useful and very important.
Yeah.
My teachers and my college tell us their child go foreigners 经验。我同事的孩子在美国。tell me 经验 is 口语 is very important.
Yeah.
So even never mind. My daughter teach me 随他。以后他会知道，他会明白。现在他还小。
是的。
现在他是初中2年级。He has 13 years old, but his scores is very better. He can do some difficult tasks in my child, in my school. 我们过去做不到的，他可以做到。So he is very powerful. She is very powerful. I remember she in 小学 he can 炒菜。小学 he can do some cookers for herself. So encourage children are powerful. We must do my best. Yeah. Okay. The PPT I will give you and later you give me your email.
Yeah.
Email. WeChat isn't easy to send files. So please give me your email.
Okay.
I will send the email, the RAR file in zip file in email. Please wait please wait. I will. Yeah, you give me your email. Okay. We find. Okay. We hope. do data representation, calculator, and store system, and CPU design. But this expert is very difficult. But you can do some easy experiments. You can find the data representation in some easy experts.
Yeah.
So you can find if we open the 数据表示 data representation, you can find in this you can find some data representation.
Yeah.
The experts of data representation is very simple. You can find this is 国标转区位码. So you can find the content is from chapter 1. In chapter 1, you can find 符码表示、浮点数表示、汉字编码、基偶校验、海明校验、CRC 校验、编码流水. So this content is given by these sockets. So you can find we can find this is Hamming coding.
Yeah.
Hamming coding and Hamming decoding. Yeah. So you can find 1.5 in page 18. You can find if you look at the page 18, turn to page 18, you can find 海明校验码. The experts of 海明校验码, he had designed. You can find in above some. You can find in this image. This is Hai Ming design. So don't worry. You can look at and study some experts. If we want to do some difficult tasks, you can read this book and read some given files. But some given files, some is easy, some is difficult. In first class, we give you the guide to reading. This is simple.
Yeah.
So if you in first, you can study the logic from this guide. From step to step, you can find this is very detailed, and you can find we can add some dates, add some lines, and some wells, and linking, and simulate. So the guide is very useful. I remember the guide is from the website, but I don't remember from where outside. Okay, this is from 2016. Yeah, this guide is from 2016. So this is very useful guide. This is Chinese version. So you can find this is download and set up, and this is the detail from the software, and you can use this assembly language. This is difficult, so don't worry. Don't use. Never mind. Yeah, this is Logic, but it's in Chinese version. You can find this image. This image is from the guide. So in Chinese version, some image from English version. It is very similar. Okay, you can find is in formal class. In our formal class, we use this is mixed green shirt. This is some mixed green shirt. This is mixed instruction set. Yeah, this is mixed 32 architecture for programmers. This is the guide from mixed company. Okay, you can look at this is schedule for Chinese teachers, Chinese students. You can find 1 is 2 is 3 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can find storage, timing, and accumulation, and logic software, and the mix is our experimental content in Chinese class. So the 8 in Chinese class, this is their tasks. Okay. In your tasks, well, you can do it easily, but you can do from the guide at first. Yeah, the guide. Yeah, the guide to being a Logitech user. This is from this file. Yeah, and from the PPT and from the file, you can zoom in.